Very good. All right. My name is Angela Lumpkin, and I am the department chair in the Department of Kinesiology and Sport Management. And I have the privilege this year of serving as chair of the Executive Council for the Teaching Academy. So on behalf of the entire Teaching Academy, I want to welcome everyone to today's induction ceremony. We are delighted that you have chosen to join us so we can honor our 11 new members. And I think what the Teaching Academy is a real credit to Texas Tech. I've been at lots of different universities over my career, and none of them have honored teaching and its wonderful teaching faculty as much as Texas Tech. And I think that's a real tribute to our institution. And one of the individuals who believes very strongly in the teaching mission of Texas Tech is our wonderful president, Lawrence Skovanec, who I might add, for those of you that don't know, since 1997 has been a member of the Texas Tech Teaching Academy. So Dr. Skovanec.
Hello, Angela. Thank you. First, I would begin by saying congratulations to all the new members. When I look at that list, I see people that I'm surprised they're not already in the academy. I think that speaks to the quality and the standards that have to be met. It was very different when I got in. But also I want to thank the leadership of the Academy. Suzanne Tapp, thank you for your work with TLPTC in support of so many initiatives and activities on campus, and the Member Selection Committee. But especially congratulations to those who are being honored today. I know Mike is going to speak, and so I'll be very brief. This has been an extraordinary period, and I couldn't be more proud of the way faculty have responded to the situation we first were faced with last March when we made this. So somebody just sent me a note. Did you know I was a founding member? So I put, what are you saying about me? I didn't know who that was, but I'm so sorry about that. I was only insulting myself. To make that transition to online, or I guess remote teaching, because those of you who are experts in the pedagogy of online instruction would say it wasn't truly online in probably the best sense of the word. But you did a fabulous job. I shared today at the Chamber System event that in spite of those challenges in this past year, we had another record for first-year retention, 88%. 5 or 6 years ago, we were hovering around 80. Last year, our graduation rate, 6-year rate, was a university record, 63.3. It's up 4%. Our 4-year rate since 2016 is up 8%. That is, I think, a wonderful statement about the job that you, advisors, and all the faculty are doing. We should be very proud of that. I also just want to share something about, I think, the situation we face on this campus in terms of who we're teaching. So we're going to announce on Tuesday after the 20th class day that we will have an enrollment of over 40,000. I wondered how to message this because there are some people out there who would say it's the fulfillment of somebody's dream when they pulled this number out of the air 10 years ago. That was never our obsession to do that. But I went back and looked in the fall of 2010 when Texas Tech University issued a new strategic plan that for the first time published its goal of 40,000. And I was speaking to Christy Martinez yesterday with Lubbock Latino newspaper. She wanted to know about all things that relate to our Latino students, faculty, and staff. And she wanted to know about the demographics, and so that's why I looked this up. Back in 2010, we had 637 students. We were 68% white. We had 21,476 white students on campus. Right now, with over 40,000 students, 40,300 and some, we have 21,477 white students. If you were playing and listening, that's one more white student than we had on the campus 10 years ago, and we've increased our enrollment by about 9,000. I think we should be very proud of that. We are teaching the people of this state and of this country that there's been a tremendous growth in her Hispanic students, but also in all groups, students of color as well as international. And I think it calls, in some ways, for a different relationship with some students. We have an increasing number of first generation. And I think as we plan for how we go forward after COVID-19, that's one thing we need to be thinking about. How do we really serve and support the great variety of students we have and their backgrounds? On the one hand, we have more qualified students than ever. This year in our freshman class, we'll have 3,900 presidential scholars. In 2016, we had right at 1,000. These are students with SAT of over 1,200, the top 25%. On the other hand, what we're not doing very well in terms of the success of our students, if you look at students of color or Pell students, Pell eligible, our graduation rate is 63%. Our Pell students are graduating at a 42% rate. Where are we missing these students? Typically, those are first generation students, and often they are students of color. And so I can't think of a better group of people to start to come together and think about what we do differently as we come out of this pandemic. I pray to God it's soon. I don't think we're going to look back and say these were the good old days. But for instance, if you look at the massive transition to online, and we're teaching 3,500 fewer sections this fall than we did a year ago. I think that's kind of concerning, yet our enrollment is up. That probably means a lot of the small courses where you had these personal interactions has been diminished, and I don't think that's healthy. But I would love to see the Teaching Academy, in conjunction with the TLPDC, start to think about what we have learned as we've dealt with the issues of the last few months. Not only in terms of the modalities that we now use. I think there's a place for online. We saw that during the summer. We had a massive increase in summer enrollment. I think students sometimes do want the online option, but I think also we have to consider what it means in terms of their personal interaction with faculty. That's why they come here. They come here because of you. And when they leave here, you will be among their best friends. And so I thank you for all you are doing. I would hope that you would start to think about how we evaluate what we've learned and how we've come out of this situation when we do get out of it. And so again, Angela, thank you for all you do. And to everybody here, I thank you for all you do. And to the new members, I congratulate you and thank you for having achieved such an impressive record as a teacher.
Thank you, Dr. Skovanec. We appreciate very much those challenging words to the Teaching Academy members, those positive, encouraging words, and probably most especially your leadership through the challenges of these last few months during the pandemic. So we appreciate that very much. I realize that you probably have lots of other things that you have to do. But
I am going to stay on till 4:30.
Okay, great. Well, we appreciate that very much. We know your time is valuable. The second person we would like to hear from today is Provost and Senior Vice President Michael Gallion. Michael Gallion is a Horn professor and a huge fan of quality teaching. I remember years ago he was introducing 3 of his colleagues from Kasner, and he was praising how great of a teacher each of those individuals was, and it just showed how much he believes in the teaching mission of Texas Tech. So, Dr. Gallion, thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you, Angela. It's my pleasure to be here, and I guess I would start off by saying that I've learned things over the years. And you mentioned that I praised the teaching of 3 of our faculty members at that time in Kasner. And some of them are on, on the screen right now. But, one of the things I learned, particularly when I came to the provost office, was just how important teaching is to the university from the financial standpoint. We don't think about that often, but really teaching is the financial foundation of the university. Everything that we do in public universities and most private universities as well is because of the funds we generate through tuition. And that's certainly true at Texas Tech. And I learned that really quickly when I came over here. So teaching became, for a person whose career really was built more on graduate education and individual interaction with students and research, I really very quickly realized how important teaching is. The other thing that made me understand how important teaching is when I served as dean and met with alumni. It was very clear that their interactions with a great teacher were the things that made a difference in their life. So I'm a slow learner. It took me into my 60s to get there, but I think I finally have it. I want to echo the president's comments and say congratulations to you. You are in an elite group. I think there's a little over 200 members or so in the Teaching Academy, and that number obviously changes every year as people leave us or retire, hopefully retire rather than leaving us, but we want to keep good teachers here. Good teaching, I think, does a lot of things. It clearly changes lives. And when you talk to alums, you just get that picture so profoundly that a good teacher has a huge effect on people's lives. And it inspires, good teaching inspires people, good teachers inspire people. And as a result of that, it's kind of a process that multiplies itself. You influence someone, they influence someone else. And your influence, quite frankly, is far greater than mine as a researcher would ever be. Great teachers, I think, have a role that is very, very significant in our society, and you should be very proud of that. And you really are an elite group. You're an elite group in terms of the numbers on campus, but I woke up at 4:29 this morning, which I often do. I actually usually wake up more than that, but anyway, and I started, as you may, when you wake up in the middle of the night or early in the morning, I started thinking about what I need to do today. And so it's kind of hard to get much sleep after that, but and I thought, oh, wait, I need to talk to the Teaching Academy. What in the world am I going to say to the Teaching Academy? And what I thought about was what I would consider to be really great teachers I've had in my academic life. And one of those actually was a high school English teacher who I happened to have for both my junior and senior year, who was a huge influence on me because she taught me how to think critically and write and do things that are fundamental to all of the things that you do in an academic career. But I thought about it from the standpoint of my college career, and I came up with 4 people that I thought were just, really great teachers, at least from my perspective, and had a big influence on me. And when you think about it, that's not very many out of all the teachers I had over the years. So, that means that people like you who've been recognized by peers and by students as great teachers are very unique people, but you can have such a huge influence. And you should be really proud of that. We're proud of you. And as I said earlier, I certainly appreciate the fact that great teaching is so fundamental to what we do at this institution. It is the foundation upon which everything is built, not just financially, but I think all that we do, our scholarship and all the aspects of the university, really, teaching is truly the foundation of that. So congratulations to all of you. There are, as the president said, a lot of really terrific names on there of people who I would have, just from what I've heard about people or seen in their dossiers when they went through for P&T, it's obvious that they're really great people in terms of what they do for us in teaching. So thank you for what you're doing, and congratulations to you once again. Appreciate the opportunity to be here with you this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gallion. Appreciate your remarks, and please stay with us as long as you can. I know you're a busy person as well, so I appreciate that very much. I just want to kind of reinforce what the president and the provost said. this is a week that's filled with some Teaching Academy and TLPDC activities. And so I was kind of reinforced about that in the middle of the week, earlier this week, I should say, when a former student at my previous institution sent me a message out of the blue. He happens to be a football coach at Stanford right now. He happens to be married to another one of my former students at that particular institution. And he took the time in the middle of a pandemic, and I know Stanford's not playing football right now, but they might. But anyway, he took the time to send me a message out of the blue and basically said what a difference I'd made. I had not heard from Kevin in years. And just out of the blue, he sends me this message and said, I'm happily married to Emily. You remember her, and gave her her maiden name. And we have a son and a daughter, and I just want to say thank you. And probably every one of us in the Teaching Academy and a lot of our colleagues across campus could have a similar story that they could recount time and time again of comments that they've heard from former students. So teachers do make a difference. And that's why we do what we do. And I think our opportunity today to honor new members of the Teaching Academy just reaffirms that. So I want to add my congratulations to our new members. Now, you're going to get gypped. You're not going to be able to shake the president and the provost hand, and mine would be out of the picture, but an opportunity to shake their hand, to be able to be personally presented a medallion, to have your nameplate that you're going to put on your desk or your door or whatever handed to you, get chinged to take your picture. You're not going to get to do any of that. And I'm really sorry because I personally would like to meet each of you face to face rather than by Zoom. But nonetheless, we're going to honor you, and we're going to put you on the screen. We're not going to make you talk. We might be here with your stories about good messages you've gotten from former students, but we are going to recognize each of our new members, 11 of them this year. And I might direct you to the Teaching Academy website where you will be able to read these statements. We're going to move them a little bit quicker than that, so you won't get to read their wisdom. But we are going to go to all the new members of the Teaching Academy, and we're going to start with Christine Bigby, who is from the School of Accounting, and she has her statement there that you can read at another time. All right, our next member of the Teaching Academy is going to pop up, and that's going to be Sean Cunningham from the Department of History. And you can see his statement there, which you can, again, read at a different time.
Angela, can I clap?
If you can do it with the clap of either your hands together that we can hear because you're not muted, or if you want to do a hand raise. I tried, good, Fanny. I was thinking about, could we do the hand raise? And if everybody knows how to do the hand raise over on the right-hand side, go for it. But yes, I was trying to think this morning when I woke up early, Dr. Gallion, how we were going to clap. And I wasn't sure exactly how to do that. So, all right, our third new member for the Teaching Academy this year is Lindsay Grinley from the Department of Psychological Sciences. And again, we can show our appreciation for all of her excellent teaching in our hand clapping way. Our fourth member new member for the Teaching Academy is Lauren Griffith from the Department of Sociology, Anthropology, and Social Work. Our fifth new member is actually one of her colleagues in the Department of Sociology, Anthropology, and Social Work, and that's Jerome Koch. And Jerome was not able to join us today, but we can give him a high five from a distance, if you will. All right, our sixth new member is Gina Lafrenery, and I'm going to butcher your name, so I'm just going to say Jenna, from the Department of Communication Studies. And we welcome Jenna, and there's her statement. All right, our next new member for the Teaching Academy is Suho Lin from the Department of Computer Sciences. Our next new member for the Teaching Academy is Lisa Lowe from the Department of Public Relations in the College of Media and Communications. Our next new member of the Teaching Academy is John McNaughton from the Department of Educational Psychology and Leadership in the College of Education.
Sorry.
Thank you. All right, our next new member of the Teaching Academy is Kaylee Millerick from the Department of Civil, Environmental, and Construction Engineering, and her statement's coming. All right, Kaylee. All right, our next new member is Sean Hsu from the Department of English. And poor Aaron always has to be last because of his last name, but our 11th this year new member in the Teaching Academy is Aaron Zimmerman from the Department of Curriculum and Instruction.
Woo-hoo!
All right, so all together we can high five, we can clap, and on behalf of the Executive Council and all members of the Teaching Academy, I want to tell you how much we are so proud of what you do for our students and the outstanding job that you do. And I just want you to know, and we're soon to be putting you to work. So hang in there. We will give you some tasks to work on this year. All right. The next thing I want you to do is join me in expressing appreciation to the people who do all the hard work behind the scenes to select these new members. Lou Densmore, who's with us today, I know, and I'm not sure all the members of the Teaching Academy Selection Committee are here, but these individuals read through all of the application materials and they anoint these 11 that we just recognized with membership in the Teaching Academy. And the other thing that I think is very important that they do is they give good feedback to individuals that may be our future members in the Teaching Academy, because we want to expand the pie of the individuals in the Teaching Academy. And so kudos to this particular group. They've done an excellent job of selecting our new members. So thank you very much. The next thing I would like to get the Teaching Academy to join me in doing is to recognize this year's Lawrence Skovanec Teaching Development Scholarship recipients, and they're listed there by department. Now, this year was a little, as Dr. Skovanec said, a little different. Normally, what would happen tomorrow at the Burns Conference is that each of these would be doing a poster presentation, and they would be sharing what they learned at conferences that they attended in most cases during the summer. But unfortunately, they've not been able to go to these conferences, a lot of them yet, because of travel restrictions. But one of the things that we are going to take advantage of is their expertise. And so the TLPDC will be hosting these individuals whenever they can get it scheduled for sessions that the TLPDC will be sponsoring, so that you can learn what these individuals who've already gone and then will be going to these particular conferences. And again, I want to recognize not only these recipients of the Lawrence Skovanec Teaching Development Scholarship, but I also would like to recognize the individuals who were the selectors of these particular recipients. And again, just like the new member selection committee, that's last year's committee who selected this year's winners. Just like the next slide will show us who the Lawrence Skovanec Teaching Development Scholarship Selection Committee was. And Wendy Humphrey from the School of Law chaired that particular committee. And I want to say thank you on behalf of the Teaching Academy to all these individuals who read through the packets of material that were put together for the selection of this year's recipients. And I might mention just in passing, I saw a chat comment that Lou said, when we get to the business meeting, I will be recognizing and noting the committees for this year and who's going to be chairing this year's committee. All right. At this time, I'm going to call on Suzanne Tapp who's the Executive Director of the Teaching, Learning, and Professional Development Center, to give us a preview for tomorrow's Burns Conference.
Thank you, Angela. I'm really excited to share with you the theme for tomorrow's conference, particularly since Dr. Skibonick challenged us to think about what we've learned through the pandemic and through our pivot to remote learning and teaching in the spring, and now our change to online learning in many cases for the fall. Our theme for tomorrow's John Burns conference is Teaching Interrupted, Finding Strength and Adapting to a Pandemic. We are drawing on our own talent right here at Texas Tech and delivering a virtual conference. We have 3 sessions tomorrow. The first will be a faculty panel that will think about how we adjusted to teaching in the pandemic. We'll talk about how we've adapted content and assessment, how we've engaged with and cared for students. I'm excited to hear from Dr. Chris Smith, Dr. Justin Hart, and Dr. Melinda Caldwell. After a break, we'll reconvene in the afternoon with a student panel, and we'll ask them how they adjusted to learning in a global pandemic. It's always great to hear from our students, so I'm really excited to see what they have to say and how it compares to what our faculty mentioned. So we have 5 student panelists joining us. And then we have a new format for the John Burns Conference, which is a lightning round session. We have 4 15-minute sessions from different Teaching Academy members. We're really excited about that and to hear some practical strategies and reflections, things that you could consider incorporating into your teaching right away. So join us tomorrow. I'll ask one of my colleagues to put the link to our Zoom session in the chat. It's 1 link, that's all you need for the whole day. So join us for 1 session, join us for all 3. It promises to be a great day.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Thank you.
And Mitzi, are you on that link?
I certainly can be, yes.
Okay, all right, make sure we get, all right, Britton's already got it. We're on it. All right, so it's the same link for the morning session, the student panel, and the lightning round. So you can come and go as your schedule, busy schedule, because I know you've got teaching or important meetings with students tomorrow to take into consideration. So come and go as your schedule permits. And yes, we're cheating everybody out of food, but that's okay. We're in the middle of a pandemic. So we have an IOU for breakfast and lunch for next year. How about that? All right, I'm going to hopefully twist your arms to get you to stay on this particular call if you possibly can, because we're going to go directly into our business meeting, and I think you will have the opportunity to be not just sitting and listening, but also to be active, because we're going to get you active in participating in our new vision for the Teaching Academy this year in the midst of a pandemic. I know the president had to sign off, but we are following up with lots of things relative to the pandemic. So please stay on if you possibly can. And we're going to start that particular business meeting with an introduction of the Executive Council members. As I said earlier, I have the privilege of serving as chair, but I have the unbelievable privilege of sharing the Executive Council work this year with some outstanding, everybody that's looked at this list says, what a great group of people. And I think we're headed up by the person listed at the bottom, which is, of course, our own Suzanne Tapp, who directs the best teaching, learning, and professional development center in the country, of course. And what I asked to be put on this particular slide is not only the names, but also the departments and the colleges of the members. The Teaching Academy's Executive Council is made up of representatives of all of our academic units so that you have your voice in this particular council. So we encourage those of you that are on this call to please communicate appropriately with those people when you want to get involved. And as we go into our breakout rooms in just a little bit, it will give you an opportunity to meet some other people, share some ideas, and then you can pass those ideas on along to your representatives on the council or to the people who are going to lead these particular groups. So we have Courtney Myers from the College of Agriculture and Natural Resources, Bob McDonald from the College of Business, Mitzi Lauderdale from the College of Human Sciences, Bree Sherwin from the School of Law, Patrick Hughes, the College of Media and Communication, Allie Duffy from the College of Visual and Performing Arts, Dom Casadante from the College of Arts and Sciences, Tara Stevens, the College of Education, Carla Lacerda College of Engineering, and Susan Tomlinson from the Honors College. What a great group of people. And I know Dom's not on this call because he had a called faculty meeting, but he's already been chair of the executive council 3 times. And so that should give you a kind of a something to aspire to and live up to, because he's willing to continue to help achieve the mission of the Teaching Academy. So what exactly is the mission of the Teaching Academy? All right, we're really a group committed to teaching excellence, for making sure that front and center to the teaching, to Texas Tech is teaching, and also to share strategies. We're going to do it tomorrow at the Burns Conference, and we're going to do it as we help each other. I chose this year as our theme, Teaching Academy's Commitment to Teaching. That's unabashedly stealing, if you will, that word's commitment, which Texas Tech has adopted for this year. And they've done a great job, the university as a whole, and I hope the Teaching Academy will come in there and do our part in the teaching area. I sent out a survey and invited people who are members of the Teaching Academy to present podcasts and webinars. That invitation remains open. A podcast is basically one way, a webinar is an engaging. All you need to do with that is just contact Suzanne Tapp and volunteer for what you would like to share. And if now is not a good time for you and 2 months from now is a good time, that's fine too. If next semester is better for you, then that's fine too. So this is an opportunity for you to share things that you're doing, experiments that you've tried in your particular classes, just things that work well for you. And I'll give you one example. In thinking about ways that I could do things differently, I decided, and I've thought about it for years, I decided I would meet with, I'm teaching 2 classes this semester, and I decided I would meet individually with each of my students. And I will tell you, the most significant outcome of that is I was feeling really badly that I had not been doing that for 40 years. The students were so excited that somebody wanted to sit down and talk individually with them. Now, I know a lot of you have large classes and that might not be feasible. If not, then do it in groups, figure out some way to do that. But I met with all of my students one-on-one, yes, social distancing, mask being worn, but I talked with each one of them, and they stopped being students before even the second day of class. And I highly recommend that. And I learned that because when I got into I taught synchronously online second half of the spring semester, and I already knew their voices because I'd call on students a lot in class, and I thought I need to learn their voices now just in case we have to go online like the second week in September or something. And that was kind of my pivotal reason for doing that, but I did it and I thought I should have been doing this for years. So I encourage you. That's something that I might be wanting to have a podcast about, just tell the experiences that I had with that. All right, going back to that particular slide, and I want to engage you with what's coming next. We're going to set up 3 working groups this year, and we're going to have a group that's going to be Teaching Academy members who communicate with new faculty, another group of TA members who communicate with new students, and then a third who are going to be helping with the peer evaluation of teaching. Now, I'm going to pause here and let Erica tell you what you need to do right now, and then we'll go to something else, and then we'll go into our breakout rooms. So, Erica?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm going to have you rename yourself like I did. I don't know if you can see my name. If you're not seeing people's names, if you'll click the participant button on the bottom of your menu and then go over to that, and then right next to your name, you'll see, once you hover over it, you'll see more. You'll down click that and you'll hit rename. So if you'll rename yourself with the number of the group you want to be in. So you'll be a 1 if you want to be a new faculty, you'll be a 2 if you want to be a new student, and 3 if you want to do the peer evaluation group. That way, when I go to sort everybody into breakout rooms, I can quickly sort you based on the group you've indicated you want to participate in. So does anybody have a question about how to rename themselves? Okay, it looks like people are.
Hey, would you say it one more time, please?
Sure, no problem. So if you'll click the participant button, it should be on the bottom of your menu. And then when you see the list of participants, find your name. And then once you hover over it, it'll say, I don't know what yours says. Mine says ask to mute or more because I'm the host. So then I down click more and you'll see a button that says rename. And then once you click that, a box will pop up that allows you to rename yourself. So then you'll rename yourself to whichever group you're wanting to go into. And once you've done that, that'll help me on my end to be able to sort you into what breakout room you're going to go into.
Erica, does it matter
Yes.
if you put that number in the front of your name or after your name? Because I know
Nope.
just some people are.
Yeah, people do it in a variety of ways, but I'll be able to tell. It just helps me indicate. It just helps me know what group to place you in.
All right, if we'll go back to the preceding slide a second while Erica works on getting everybody in the breakout rooms. I want to kind of introduce you to who's going to be leading your particular group in the breakout sessions. Some people have already volunteered for being with the new faculty group. This is an opportunity to help you engage with Allie Duffy from VAP, and she's going to lead that particular effort for the Teaching Academy this year. And so this is an opportunity to share your ideas of how to do this. We have a list of new faculty from Suzanne for the new faculty orientation, so we know who they are. And the thought there is to get in touch with all new faculty because we can't just go have a cup of coffee over at Barnes & Noble. We need to figure out some way to welcome our new colleagues. They didn't even get lunch given to them on the new faculty orientation, so we need to do something. If you're concerned, it can be totally virtual. It can be whatever you want. Dom Casadante is going to lead the first generation and first year student effort. As I mentioned, he's in a faculty meeting right now. I'm going to pinch hit for him with that particular group and talk with you that are interested and pick your brain for ideas. And then the third group, Courtney Myers, is going to lead that particular discussion following up on her TLPDC fellow work last year in the peer evaluation of teaching. Now, I want you to know that you can work in one group, two groups, or three groups. Right now, we'll put you in one group so we can pick your brains. But if you find that you'd like to work across two or three groups, just let the person know who is leading that particular group. If you can't think of their name, let me know. If you can't think of my name, let Suzanne know. Everybody knows who Suzanne is. So when we go into the groups, then what we're going to do is we're going to be led by those particular individuals. All right, if we will, and as I told the group, you're choosing that particular number has now committed you. You will be hearing from that person again with all your great ideas. And our group was super, and I'm sure yours was as well. All right, so just two or three other things before we call it a day on a Thursday. So if we'll move forward to, I wanted to make sure that everybody knew who the new committees were this year. And also thank each of these individuals for their outstanding service. It takes time to serve on these committees, but you meet some of the nicest people on these particular meetings. And you can meet them virtually and see their faces, or sometimes maybe during the year we might be able to actually have a face-to-face meeting. So Ken is going to be from the College of Engineering, is going to chair the new member selection committee. And these are going to be the members who are going to give outstanding service. The next committee that the Teaching Academy has, as I mentioned before, is the Departmental Excellence in Teaching Award Selection Committee. And Michael Orth from the College of Agricultural Sciences and Natural Resources is going to chair that group. And what a great group of people. So thank you all for your wonderful volunteering. And then I think there should be one more committee, which actually I said those backwards. This is the Scovanec committee. The preceding was the Departmental Excellence in Teaching Award. I can't even read. Robert Cox is going to share the Scovanec Teaching Development Scholarship Committee this year from the College of Agricultural Sciences and Natural Resources, and thanks to you who are willingly serving on that committee. And if you ever need to have these are posted on our website. And again, thank you so much for your service. All right, just some real quick updates to finish up our meeting. I think there should be a slide with those. If not, I will bring them to your attention. Yes, some dates. Distinguished Teaching Awards coming up. You may have a college process in which that date's already passed. We do in arts and sciences. We will get you the date on the applying for the Teaching Development Scholarships. The due date for Departmental Excellence in Teaching Award, I encourage you, there's a $25,000 prize for that. So I encourage you to submit your applications. We will get a date for when we will have the Teaching Academy packets due. And then, as Suzanne told us about earlier, the Burns Conference is tomorrow, and I encourage everyone to drop in and out as your schedule permits. All right, are there other items of business that we need to chat about this afternoon? All right, let me go back to one other thing. Please volunteer to do a podcast or a webinar. You've got some remarkable expertise. And if you can't do it yourself, then twist the arm of a colleague in your academic unit or somebody on campus that you just know is really good at doing something, and be willing to share, and be willing to be bold enough to volunteer. Some people already have. We've got some scheduled already, but don't be modest. This is an opportunity for you to basically share your expertise and make us all proud of you as a Teaching Academy member. I'll make one other comment. Ali or Courtney's, anything you wanted to tell the whole group about your subgroup?
We had the best subgroup.
Ah.
I object, Courtney.
Well, we had a great one. So did Ali. You had a great one too. All right, I've already sent the chairs, other people who have volunteered. We have some volunteers from today's meeting. Just because your colleague was not on the call today and didn't get a chance to volunteer, Ollie Duffy is doing new faculty. Courtney Myers is doing peer review of peer evaluation of teaching, and Dom Casadante is doing new students and first-gen students. So feel free to volunteer. All right, I want to thank all of you for helping us celebrate our 11 new members of the Teaching Academy. Welcome to all of you, and we will put you to work really, really soon. So thanks for volunteering already. So thank you very much. Thanks to the TLPDC staff, Molly Jacobs, who's in the background. Thank you very much for all the work you did, Molly. Erica for helping out, Carrie for helping out, Suzanne, great leadership. We will be in touch. You can be assured of that fact. All right, thank you all.